Morning, folks. Another one of the days. There's a lot of bollocks in the papers, but we'll get there. Just get Facebook on board. Okay, that's Facebook made public. We'll give you a couple of minutes to get on board, folks. Once we hit the 50 mark, we'll get this show underway. Now, I noticed when I was going through the comments yesterday that Class Action would like me to put up a test card prior to the broadcast going live. Love to Class Action, absolutely love to. Have absolutely no Scooby how to do it. If you want to come out to Salisbury, North Lanarkshire and show me how it's done, I'll be quite happy to learn. But at this point in time, I don't have the time to sit down with a tutorial and go through it. So I will get time to look at it, Class Action. I will get round to trying to improve the Outlook-based programs. But at this point in time, I'm a bit of a tech diddy. I only learned how to go live on Facebook by accident. YouTube, that's another kettle of fish. I don't know if you know this, but I didn't set the YouTube channel up. The other day we did. And as usual, it was one of the ones, right, we've got a YouTube channel now, let's go on with it. That's just the way it goes with Mr. Milligan. I hope he's feeling better today. I haven't had a chance to contact him this week. I've been flat out, unfortunately. So David, if you're watching, I apologise, I haven't called so far this week. Right, now, let's move on. It's Indie Two Davies newspaper headline review on the 24th of the 10th, 2024. And if you people ever want to wonder where I get all these headlines from, I get them from this place. I'll put it all. I get them off of this place. Anyway, it's called frontpages.com. Well, don't want to show you that yet. And what it does is it gives me all the front pages across the United Kingdom, including regional papers for Wales and for England and Scotland. And there's bloody millions of them, folks. Millions of them. But I tend to stick to the big headline, the big ones, the ones that I've got. The main national newspapers. But so if you ever wonder how it is I get all these headlines and all these front pages, it's called thedailyfrontpage.com, if any of you are interested. Anyway, let's move on. First up this morning, we've got the Rancid. The Daily Record, as it's called. Let's look where I wait. I think I've got it. I know I've got it. Well, maybe no. I guess that's no one of the ones I did put up this morning. Anyway, what the Record says is, let me hear this one. The Daily Record has a Scots lives at risk in Botox Wild West. Botox Wild West? That's a cracker. Do women in the east of Scotland no get Botox treatment? Wild West. Absolutely mental. Anyway, the Daily Rancid say that people's lives are in danger because Botox treatments aren't regulated properly. And they want lawmakers, in other words, Holyrood, to legislate the industry. Okay, so that's what the Daily Rancid has today. It says that it's a Wild West out there for Botox treatments. Obviously people in the east don't get Botox treatments. Right, second up today is actually a local paper to the northeast of Scotland, and that's the Press and Journal. And it has Inverness Cali Thistle cuts begin as Ferguson is act. Now, the reason why in the national lineup of newspapers today this comes second is because it's a football story. Inverness Caledonian Thistle Football Club have went into administration, and the first of the people to be laid off, believe it or not, is the coach and the coaching staff. They're holding on to the team apparently. How they're going to put a team out, how they're going to train it, how they're going to pay it, God knows, but apparently they're holding on to the team and getting rid of the coaching stuff. Suppose if you want to keep operating in the team, is what you've got to save. Right, the Herald says, and I have got this one. That one. Now, the Herald says Greens put plan for National Care Service on life support. Now, what it's saying here is that the Scottish Greens, who were part of the Scottish Government when the National Care Service was proposed during the pandemic, it's saying that the Greens plan to pull away from the service now because, let's face it, we've had the trade unions and we've had the councils all trying to prevent something that the people of Scotland don't just want but need. Yes, we are very lucky here in Scotland. We do have a social care service, and it is free for all who have the need of social care. But they wanted to create a national care service to work glove in hand with the National Health Service. And all the people who work in the social care sector here in Scotland would like to see it created. David and I have spoken about this repeatedly. But, as I say, the trade unions, the councils, everybody has tried to block this from coming to being because it's fucking embarrassing for the union. It's embarrassing for fucking unionists right across these islands that the mother country of the union doesn't have fucking social care for its people. Saying that, the mother country of the fucking colonies of the union seems to be the worst fucking half of us all. You want to know what the 10 most deprived places, 20 most deprived places in the UK are? They're all in fucking England. You want to know where poverty is at its highest? Fucking England. You want to know who's got the most food banks? Fucking England. You want to know who's got the worst care service? Social care service? Fucking England. But unionists here don't want our people to prosper because it's fucking embarrassing for England. And that shower of shite in the House of Thieves and Carpetbaggers. And by the way, England, your life's about to get much fucking worse. Ours, because we're in the union, is pretty rough. But you, as the mother of the fucking union, the mother of the empire, the runner of the colonies, you get fuck all. Not even a pot to piss in. Wow. Right, the Scotsman says school charity faces closure after ministers end funding. Now, I'm not going to put it up. I'm not going to put it up. But what this story the Scotsman tells us is that Young Enterprise Scotland, which has been working in schools and colleges for 30 years, is going to have to shut its doors. Why? Because of fucking cuts for doing that road. There is nothing in the pot to offer the third sector. So, after 30 years of funding, directly for the Scotland office and then from Holyrood, Young Enterprise Scotland, known as Yes Scotland, isn't that fucking ironic? Is to close. Ah well, but as I say, what can we say? People voted to stay in this fucking union, so suck it up, buttercup. Anyway, the 31 employees of that particular third sector charity, which has been working for 30 years in our schools and colleges, is to close its door, and the 31 employees have been issued redundancy notices. Ah well, times are hard, apparently. In the 6th richest economy on the planet. Actually, that's a lot of bollocks. When you take out the contribution made by immigration, not just does our economy flatline, it actually drops us for the 6th biggest economy in the world to the 27th, the UK. That's more like the fucking truth. 27th largest economy, out of 192. That is the fucking truth. This bollocks of the 6th biggest economy in the world, rich country, and shouldn't they have this stuff? It's crap, folks. Even more growth is driven by immigration. And what's driving that growth? The need to house, the need to feed, the need to employ, the need for public services for those people who are moving here. And by fuck do we need them? Aging demographic. And after the pandemic, people like me decided not to work full time anymore. Or just dropped out the workforce altogether, which was my plan. My plan was just to retire until a wee job I've got now came along. And I'm very blessed for it. A full-time job, allegedly. Pays well. Gaffer's a good guy to work for. Excellent. Right. Anyway. That's a Scotsman for you. Apparently a charity that's been working in schools and colleges trying to encourage entrepreneurialism here in Scotland is to shut its doors. To say yes, Scotland. Young Enterprise Scotland. Yeah. Something called Yes Scotland being shut down by the Scottish Government. Any fucking surprise under Swinney? Everything else is called Yes fucking Scotland has been shut down by the fucker. Okay. We're on a roll today, folks. Right, the Sun has Dalmor Demon locked up for 37 years as victim's family face a life sentence of grief. Probably. 37 years. He's only going to do 40%. He is. Sentence, unless there's specifications put on it, and I haven't noticed any specifications put on it. So 40%, he's going to be at the time he's 35, 37. But he's only 20. He'll be young enough to date again. Oh well. That's if he isn't released under the early release scheme. Now, he wasn't tried under the Scottish justice system. He was tried under the English justice system because he's fake Carlisle. Thanks, Alistair. You're a superstar. Thank you very much. So apparently, the young fella who murdered the guy for Grindr, the gay dating app, gets sentenced to 37 years. Okay. That was the Sun, wasn't it? Aye. The Eye has. We'll put it up. I know I have it here somewhere. There we go. The Eye has 2024 budget cuts are a disaster for crime victims, warns former UK Justice Secretaries. The Ministry of Justice budget is feared to be on the chopping block next week as the Chancellor looks to make savings despite a plea to the PM from Minister Shabana Mahmood. Former Justice Secretary Robert Buckland and Alex Chalk tells the Eye the department faces disaster. Well, they did with Keir Starmer in charge of it for a long time. The idea there's anything left to cut is fanciful, warns Buckland. He should fucking know. He cut the last of the fat off. Cutting funds would be a total disaster and cost even more. And could make it even harder to clear the COVID court backlogs. And the justice system shortcomings were evident this week, with prisons releasing 1,100 inmates in England and Wales. And there was a stooshy about it up here. It already started in England and Wales. Of course, that started under the Conservatives, but Labour's taking the brunt of it. But the fact is, the fact that the prison services have not been, hasn't been funded properly in England and Wales also has a knock-on effect to Scotland and Northern Ireland because of the consequentials, which is how we fund our prison service. As to the courts here, I don't know if you know this, folks, but when a person here in Scotland gets fined, court, traffic offence, breach of the peace, whatever, £100 fine. The court system here in Scotland only gets to keep 10% of that to keep the courts going. The rest of it goes to the Treasury in fucking London via the Crown Office and the Crown Estates. There is a wee bit of consequences to top it up based on what's spent in England. But actually, they even take the fine money generated here in Scotland, which could be used to modernise the justice fucking system. Well, Right, the Scottish Daily Field. I'll put this one up and all. There we go. Scottish Daily Field. For some reason, they're obsessed with infidelity of the Scottish Daily Field. I am thrilled that my husband gets on with my male best friend. You'll never guess we've been lovers for 30 years. He probably fucking knows it. He's really easier than you. He's really your boyfriend easier than him. You'll probably find he's got a lover on the go for 30 years and all. Right, and the main headline and the fail is fury over Reeves' raid on private sector pensions. Experts blast Chancellor's plans to impose national insurance on employers' pension contributions while sparing the public sector. So if you work for the government or in local government, you won't be, slapped with national insurance on pension contributions that you're making on behalf of your workers. But if you're in the private sector, you will be. So all of those who are working for a living and contributing to your workplace pension will be getting humped. Whereas if you're in the public sector and contributing to a workplace pension, you won't be getting humped. Sounds like two-tier care to me. Right, the Times runs on two headlines. I'll put it up. No, actually I won't. And I can't be asked going to get it. You know I've got it there, folks. So what's the Times go for us? The Times runs on two headlines. The first is striking details give unions an extra 6 months for walkouts. And I thought, an extra 6 months for walkouts. The right to withdraw your labour in an industrial dispute, shouldn't it be fucking time limited? Shouldn't it be time limited at all? And bad employers, the ones who actually spark industrial troubles because of their unreasonableness, they take what they fucking get. But remember, folks, you have to have balance in industrial relations, because if you don't, then this fucking flatlined economy and a shrinking economy will shrink even fucking faster. Right. The Telegraph has Starmer's top aide drawn into Trump row. Now, apparently because some Labour MPs and aides went along to the Democrat Congress in the US on the run-up to the US election, Trump has registered a complaint against the UK Labour Party for interfering in the UK election. That should be fucking funny. We'll see where that goes. Right, the National goes on. I will put this one up actually. Rant alert, this one could go out of fucking hand. And the National has post-Brexit funding woes for Scots mountain paths, as Scots mountain path fuel strength. Of course they do. Funding for nature programmes isn't it cutting off. So much for looking after the ecology and biodiversity of Scotland. Right, Sarwar slammed over Grangemouth betrayal. SNP hits out at Scots Labour leader over failure to deliver on election promise to protect jobs for refinery workers. Every time Sarwar made a fucking promise during that election campaign, Starmer slapped him in the fucking purse and put him down. I mean, after all, Sarwar promised us an end to austerity, an end to the two-child cap, a settlement for the waspy women, jobs for the boys in fucking Grangemouth. The man is a fucking liar, and it was facilitated by the press and the fucking mainstream media. The broadcast media. His lies were enabled by the fuckers. Is that cool Hamilton era in the US also? I wonder if Trump will make a complaint about the Liberal Democrats. I doubt it. After all, they're irrelevant. Although he did sit up and take note of Patrick Harvey. But everybody notices Patrick Harvey because he's an annoying wee shite. But I have to say I like him. Okay. Fucking anger at Sarwar. Davy here and the other Davy were telling you this push before you voted. Not that anybody can hear us. Ordinary people here in Scotland don't get access to news outlets. Nobody's coming along to interview Davy, or the other Davy, or Gordon Ross, or any of us. As far as they're concerned, as long as they can't fucking hear us, as long as they can blank us out of people's imagination and out of people's eyes and ears, then of course the independent cause will disappear. But anger at Sarwar. We knew he was a fucking liar, ambulance chasing prat before the election. But anyway, the fucking idiots went and voted for him anyway. And now there's anger at him. Anger. The fucking man's irrelevant, to be honest. And his imperial master has probably condemned the branch office here in Scotland to the political wildernesses for another 20, 30 fucking years. Right, the Metro goes on. Urban child survives 90 foot. Unborn child survives 90 foot fall. Now, this is the story of a young lady who fell out of either an apartment building or a hotel. She was pregnant, and unfortunately, she died of her injuries, but they were able to save the baby. Medical science has advanced, and some of the amazing things it can do now. And for the father of the child and the family of the young lady who fell for the building, I'm very pleased for them that the baby survived. I really am. I am really pleased. I'm glad that the medical science has advanced to the point where they can save this baby. Right, the Daily Express goes on. You'll force me to fly to Dignitas to die alone, says Dame Esther Ranson. Now, apparently, Les Streeton intends to vote against the assisted dying bill, which is being proposed and going through Westminster at the moment. Nobody's surprised about that. But as to Dame Esther having to fly to Dignitas in Switzerland alone, well, does none of her family have passports? Can nobody accompany her? Tell you what, Dave, tell you what, Esther, if you can't find anybody else to come and hold your hand while you put yourself in, I'll do it. I'll even foot the bill for mine passport and mine flight. Alright? So there you go. If your own family are not willing to come and hold your hand, if you're going to Dignitas, I'll do it for you, Dame Esther. Okay? Fucking nonsense. Now where we go. The Star. The Star. I'll put the Star up for you today, folks. Alright? I normally don't if it's not in the Sky and it's not in the BBC paper review. But I'll put it up for you today. Because it's funny. The Star generally is quite funny. Anyway, here we go. The Daily Star. That one. Here we go. This one's a doozy. Orange man baby accuses Turkey's government of meddling in US election. The American wars of interference. And then you've got Starmer dressed in a red coat and Trump dressed in a blue one. No, of course, the British Army were called the red coats, weren't they? So apparently we're back at war with the Americans. Looks like King Chuck's going to have to pull rank on the Yanks. There you go. Brilliant. You can always rely on the Star to bring you a wee smile. As I say, I don't always put the Star on the Express up because I tend to follow what's in on the BBC and Sky's newspaper review. But to be honest, I could put them all up, every fucking regional local paper if you want. So I could, but I don't have that much time. I really don't. Anyway, folks, as you know, there will be a Two Davies at 4. Okay. Whether it's one Davy or two Davies has yet to be seen. As I say, I haven't been able to contact David. I've got a problem with my phone, as you know. Or maybe you don't, my phone's fucked. And if I move away from my Wi-Fi connection, it just doesn't fucking work. You're going to go and buy another one this weekend. I'm off on Saturday, so I'm off to the 3 shop or something to go and buy a phone. Right, that's it for the day, folks. Quite a ranty one. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it informative. And yes, Carol, you're absolutely right, my dear friend. The world has gone mad. I'll put that one up. Carol and I have known each other for a while now. But as most of you will probably be aware, there's a good few people in this audience who I know personally, and who I've met them through the years, through campaigning together and things like that. So, anyway, Carol, you're absolutely right. The world's gone fucking mad. Right, we'll see you this afternoon at 4 o'clock. There's no after stream chat until 10 o'clock tonight for anybody who wants to drop in. I should be finished work by then. And look forward to seeing you at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now, thanks very much for tuning in today. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you think this is worthy of others seeing it, then please share across your social media platforms. And folks, grab your relatives, get them on their iPhones. We're on a drive to make it 3,000 subscribers by the turn of the year. But it doesn't matter whether your relatives tune in or not, get them to subscribe, because it makes a difference to the algorithm. It makes a difference to the amount of money we make for advertising. And it all goes to good causes, as you know. So, see you at 4 o'clock, folks. Thanks to the moderators